Welcome to Renaissance of Wrestling. And if you have two eyes, you see the topic at hand. And this is why I don't think Drew McIntyre should win at WrestleMania. Now, there's a lot of people who see his current run, and I like what he's doing currently as well. He's doing a great job. I like how he's incorporating the stuff with CM Punk. He has that little picture he's using. He's using social media. There's a lot of great things that he's doing right now. But the reason I don't think he should win at WrestleMania, it's a combination of everything Seth is doing as well as taking what he's doing as a moment. Everything Drew is doing is making him a worthy opponent for a WrestleMania main event. But the thing is, there's something very specific he hasn't done that Seth Rollins is doing and currently in the process of making happen. Seth Rollins and his character are currently on a trajectory of transcending wrestling. Now, when I say transcending wrestling, I look at people such as Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, John Cena, Roman's starting to do that right now. These are people who they're the big face of wrestling. They've transcended just wrestling culture. You, as a person, if you're aware of pop culture, you're aware of these names. Seth is on a trajectory of doing this. For us to cut his push off this early, it's cutting off what he's doing. And I'm going to get into that a bit more, but I'm going to get into as well with that and how he's doing it and everything as why Drew is not on that trajectory and why he'd actually hurt that trajectory. I'm going to take a quick segue and start to focus on Drew McIntyre and his character himself. Let's be honest here. Drew was doing a great job right now, and Drew was someone he had a great run during the pandemic as well. Great figure. He's looked like he's a chosen one since he came into the WWE. But if we're being very honest, especially in this moment right now, can we really say what Drew McIntyre's character is? This was the thing that I had when he first faced Roman Reigns. I remember when he first faced Roman, I was one of the people that were like, all right, this is the time, take the belt off Roman. Drew's looking like a guy to do it. But as the weeks were progressing, I was just realizing like, he doesn't feel like the guy right now. And then after when I'm looking at his WrestleMania match right now, I'm just like, he's not feeling like that guy. Like I can't see myself next month even if Raw was to start with him cutting a 15-minute promo or 5-minute promo even, am I going to be fully intrigued in and not really? And again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just completely bashing on Drew McIntyre. Again, he's great in the ring. He does a great job there. It's just his character has not come full circle. And there's a lot of people who are probably going to comment already and be like, what do you mean it's not full circle? He's the Scottish warrior. Okay. What has he done outside of having the sword? What has he done that says Scottish warrior? That feels like he's a Scottish warrior. There's some people that are going to say, yeah, but look at everything he's doing with his current run. He's coming off as a complete asshole. Okay. What happens when this feud ends? Even then, if him being an asshole is his character, what do you do with it when he turns face? And the reason that this still matters is because when you have someone who transcends wrestling, you want someone who has a character, who has a gimmick that no matter if they're heel or face, they can maintain that character. And that's the thing with Seth Rollins where he's on that trajectory. He's this fashion guy. I watched it as, in the last few months, I've been keeping up with wrestling more and more. I'm someone who, admittedly, I fell out of a passion for wrestling around 2010, 2011. I believe the Nexus feud was one of the last feuds that I watched on a weekly basis. From there, I had about 3 years where I came out of watching wrestling. 2014 on until recently, I was keeping an eye out. I was kind of watching blogs. I was watching reports of what was going on. But I wasn't watching it like I am right now. And I've been watching it with a lot of casuals who've never really dabbled into wrestling, or they themselves fell out of passion for wrestling. And one thing that they all do enjoy with the product is Seth Rollins. There's other things, and I will get into on other episodes. But Seth Rollins is one of those things that they enjoy because Seth feels authentic. Seth feels like this fashion guy. Like you can watch each week, and all he has to do is come out. You sing his theme song with him. You look at his drip, and you just appreciate who he is. That's someone that can really transcend wrestling, and he really has that opportunity. If people who are casuals are watching it, looking at Seth and saying, yo, he's him. He's that guy. There is a trajectory that he can go where he can be that guy, and I think they just got to let him do that. Let him have a lengthy reign. This is not the time for him to lose the belt. But see, it's that level of having a character I feel like people are missing out on forgetting is very important for you to really take over for a company. How can I trust you as the guy? How am I supposed to trust you as the guy if I am not looking for it? I don't care really if you cut a 5-10 minute promo. Look at, for example, as much as everyone wants to right now bash on The Rock, everyone likes to hate on Roman Reigns. When they say they have an appearance coming up, you're tuning into that show. When you find out there is a Roman Reigns promo, you tune in. If it's Cody Rhodes, if it's The Rock, you tune in. Seth Rollins is starting to feel that way. So why are we going to take the belt off of him and not keep him in that limelight? Here's the thing as well. And if you think that what I'm saying doesn't make sense or you disagree, as I'm going to have disagrees in the comment section, let me ask you this. When Seth doesn't have the belt, does he feel lost in the shuffle? Not really. Because he carries the same character, and whatever feud he's in, he boosts it. He makes it feel bigger with just his presence. Drew McIntyre doesn't really do that. He feels like he's a main card guy. He feels like a main eventer. But there's definitely some work that needs to be done. Personally, if I was in charge, some things that I think I would do to make him feel better is he needs to probably feel more like a beast. He's a big guy. He's a marketable look. Drew is a very marketable, great look, and great in the ring on top of that. He just needs to have a more fleshed out character. Maybe he needs to feel more like a beast. He's already on a run where he injured CM Punk. So maybe what he should do then to change my mind on what I'm saying is injure Seth Rollins. There's two trajectories that I see that can be made with Drew McIntyre. There's one where he feels like Triple H, because he reminds me a lot, honestly, of Triple H. There's a lot of them that reminds me of Triple H. And he can take that path where maybe not so much a faction, but he can feel like this assassin, this ruthless dick of a guy that no matter what he does, no matter where he is, he's just this warrior, and his warrior mentality is to just hurt people. Maybe he takes that route, but at that point, he needs to have some kind of catchphrase. He needs to have some kind of catchphrase to keep people intrigued. With Triple H, if it wasn't with DX saying, "Are you ready?" It was him being the game, and he's that damn good. With Roman Reigns, it's acknowledge me. With Cody Rhodes, it's so what do you want to talk about? There's that thing that just gets you into it, and I think he kind of needs that to just boost his character. Maybe he needs to feel that way. Another trajectory I could see for him, which I don't know how natural it'll be for him, but he can really start to take a route of someone who, when he caters to a fact, like someone who really has this feeling of he's this lone warrior who's felt like he needed to be a great. I don't know, but he just needs something to flesh out his character more. And when I look at certain characters, I'm like, okay, Seth Rollins, he speaks to the fashion guy. Roman speaks to the alpha males. Cody, he speaks to, outside of, we like to say, the Cody crybabies, he still speaks to like an American dream, essentially. Someone who has worked his ass off just for nepo babies to get in the way. A family that was never respected, the grandson of a plumber. There's these feelings that their character gives, and Drew's is just missing that. So if we're just giving him the title because, well, he did a great run during the pandemic, that's not speaking on anything current. What he's doing currently is making him a great WrestleMania opponent. But if we're being honest, for him to not carry this belt on for the next 2-3 months and be the face of WWE in his very transcendent phase right now, he's not feeling like that. How are we going to say this when not too long ago, the main event for the World Heavyweight title looked like it could have been CM Punk, Cody Rhodes even. And now it's like, okay, it's Drew McIntyre. The World Heavyweight title picture already looks like second thought. Like, okay, we're just doing this because we have to do it. People didn't really care for it, so they're just letting it feel that way. We need to build this title up to feel like it means something, and Drew winning right now just doesn't feel like the time. He just signed an extension, and hey, he deserves it. But I do think in this time period of him having this extension, his character needs to get fleshed out a lot more. So until that happens, I personally don't think he should. And yeah, so if you agree, you disagree, whatever it is, feel free to comment down below. If you like this video, like it. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be shooting out videos all this week on what I think in preparation for WrestleMania and how I would book and deal with this Renaissance era for WWE. Peace.